up, y'all? It's your girl, Ari Monique.
And your girl, Taraya J.
And we are back with another episode of
Taglines and Tea. Yes.
Woo.
So we're going to go ahead and get us started here. We got a lemon drop, y'all. You know, our favorite drink. So, a lemon drop chop. Cheers.
I just realized that my shot glass matches my outfit.
Is it on purpose?
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
I love you. Okay, so I want to jump right into it.
Okay.
What is your current hot take, sis?
This episode was a bore. It was a snooze.
It's a filler.
Literally a filler episode. My current hot take is Ralph being an asshole to Drew. And not wanting to give the girl the divorce. You don't even like this lady.
He's dragging it.
Let it go.
He's dragging it.
Like, going back to the lady you was with out of town.
I forgot about that. He's just being vindictive. He's just angry that it's not on his terms, that she's the one that wanted the divorce, not necessarily him, and so he's just trying to have control of the situation.
Yeah, just like,
that's genuinely
he's a loser.
He is.
What's yours?
Okay, so it's not necessarily my hot take, but I want to talk about this later. So I watched the after show, y'all, and Angela insinuated that Shamia's playing the long game, that Shamia's not really sad, that she is not one to let a person get over on her, and that she is really just trying to make her way into being kind of like the ringleader on the show. And I want to talk about it. I feel like I have a lot of opinions about that space, so I want to jump back into it later. But it's not hot take.
I have some things to talk about as far as that, too. I got some things to add about how I feel in that just whole situation overall.
Yeah, because it's just a matter of friendship. I feel like the best way to put it is you pick and choose the type of friends you want to be around. I had a conversation with
you can choose your friends, you can't choose your family.
Exactly. I'm like, not everybody requires the same things in a friendship, in a relationship, and that's why we obviously ain't friends with everybody.
True.
And I feel like over the years, Shamia did not require the same things that everybody expected her to require from Portia. And I think that as time has gone on, her requirements of a friend have changed, but she's seeking it in someone who can't necessarily give it to her. Okay. Instead of
let's pause there. We're going to come back to the after show. We're going to come back to the after show.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Because the after show was better than the episode. And the after show is only like 13, 15 minutes. So.
Yeah, it was really actually short this time.
Yeah, I was looking at that. They're usually like 20 minutes.
Yeah, they are. In some other shows, they're like 30, 40 minutes. It really just depends on like how hot the tea is, I guess.
I guess this episode was a bore, so
it was 13 minutes. 13 it is.
13 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just jump right into the episode.
Okay, let's do it.
As I mentioned, Drew and Ralph are going through the divorce.
Yeah.
Ralph's taking his time. He is so petty. He locked her out of the house.
Yes, and
changed the code.
And then had this woman at a hotel and was like, "Oh, I can get in through the basement," and goes up and can unlock the door. Why couldn't she get in through the basement? Then, if that's the case, if you have access to her upstairs, make it make sense.
It's annoying.
And then how he wanted the finances and everything to essentially be unsealed, but you don't even want to disclose your finances. You don't want to disclose anything, and now you want ownership of her business, of her name, of her likeness.
No.
Like, why are you coming out? This is the mother of your children.
Divorce really shows you a different side of the person that you thought you was in love with.
To be honest with you, though, I seen who he was immediately when
it started.
Yeah, when he said that he was going to adopt her son.
And did not do it.
And retracted, and said, actually, no, that's not fair to the father to go and take, essentially, his ownership of being a dad. Like, what? If you are the present father in this child's life and this child looks up to you directly, I don't know, I feel like as a man and you see what another man might not be doing, I don't think that why all of a sudden are you a guy's guy?
He's lame.
He's very lame. It's actually...
Drew actually made a tweet. I saw this today when I was watching the show. She said something of that... Ralph is about being a peach holder.
I told you, Ralphina.
Yeah, pretty much calling him a girl.
Yeah.
And that's what you're acting like. Like, to be honest, he's getting the most screen time.
He is getting the most screen time. I feel like, though, on Atlanta, so in comparison to Married to Medicine, the men actually get a lot of screen time. They do it on New Jersey, too. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the men get a lot of screen time. People like to actually see them come together, but I don't feel like that's necessarily the case on Atlanta. Granted, I will say, there ain't many husbands anymore like it used to be, because I feel like back in the day, the men definitely were much more present.
Yeah, because back then we had Greg, we had Peter, we had Todd. Who else had a man?
Kennedy. Oh, Kennedy's Todd.
Well,
Kenya's
husband. Cordell at first for a little hot second.
Yes, Cordell.
Kenya had paid friends. Paid friends. over there acting
My girl.
like the girl from Potomac. What's the new girl from Potomac who got?
Oh my goodness, Stacy.
Stacey.
Yes. Oh, but then also too, we had what's Phaedra? Apollo.
Oh, we had Apollo.
Apollo was always present too. Oh, and we had Peter.
Yeah, Patricia.
We had Peter.
That's when everybody had a man. Nobody got no man.
But that's the weird thing too. Is like I'm not saying that it has like it's a. I guess I get it now that they want to cast people that make sense or that are funny, but I'm kind of surprised too. Like they keep continuously casting people that are not actually housewives, and I kind of want to see like I don't know. That's why I love both Andrew's drama.
I got a husband, and Britt has a husband girlfriend.
Oh, I don't really want to know the backstory of him.
So
I want to listen to do you have anything about? Oh, I guess they met through her insurance company, but like, what does he do?
They gonna get wrapped up like Jen Shaw.
Oh, Jen, you know she's getting out soon.
Really?
Yeah, she's supposed to be getting out soon.
They
said they were gonna let. It was either out on good behavior. Or it was something that they said that she was gonna be. I did too.
So what else happened on this
Britt
episode?
talked with Didn't Britt have a conversation with someone in this episode?
I don't even feel like Britt was on this episode.
That's why I'm like, wait a minute. I thought I remember Britt sitting down talking to someone, but I know that Angela did talk with her mom.
She did.
She did tell her mom that she felt like she doesn't stand up for her. She's not there for her in situations that she might need her, especially recently with her daughter and her sister, where the sister essentially was frustrated. And I'm assuming it's probably just frustration around feeling like they control everything because they're the ones with the money. And it's like the daughter probably made a comment like that, like, well, my mama bought the car anyway, which is now the mom is moving out of the house that was bought for her. She probably feels like y'all are trying to one-up me. You're trying to control me with the things you buy.
But then it's like, it kind of reminds me of when Candy gave her house, and Candy mom was, acting all funny with.
Candy mom a little different though. I feel like Candy mom is a lot more combative. Like she's a lot more combative. I can tell immediately from Angela's mom that she does not really like the drama. She don't like being in any of that. She probably feels like overwhelmed by everything that goes on. They did say that she cussed Charles out. They didn't talk in 3 years because of it. But she said it was the way that Charles was talking to her.
Charles looked like he got a quick mouth.
Yes. Also, too, even outside that sit down, there was a point where Angela sat down with Charles and they talked about some things. And she asked him for a kiss, and he looked a little uncomfortable by it. And then in the confessionals, they
said they need to get their spark back.
But yeah, Charles, he just doesn't seem interested, or it feels like I don't think he's interested in the show. I think that he doesn't want to do theatrics for the show. So he I think when they asked do you love her, or when they asked for the kiss, I just think he was kind of like, why are y'all asking me this? I wouldn't be with her if I didn't love her.
Yeah,
why are you trying to force me to
with this lady for 10 years? I don't love this lady. So. And
I think that love and in love are two different.
Oh, that's two
areas, things. And there's a spectrum to each. And
that's why they say sometimes you have to fall back in love.
Exactly. I had a conversation with them yesterday because it's that happens. Marriage is not going to always be peaches and cream. I'm not going to always look at you and be like, oh, I just love you so much. Some days I'm going to look at you and I just want to pull your braids out. Why?
It's I love you, but damn, you get on my nerve. I don't want to.
And I think that's where they're at.
They've been together for 10 years. I just hope they can find their way back that way more intimately and in love and lovey-dovey with each other. But I also, be quiet, dear. I also think that, he ain't really feeling the show, and they need the husbands on the show. Just watching me couldn't go on the show early because her husband didn't want to be involved. Obviously, we haven't seen that nigga since episode 1.
Yeah, he said he's not in it. He's not in it. So, but I will say he pops up, I feel in scenes that is needed from him. Exactly, the scene for her birthday, he definitely showed out for that. I feel like he'll probably come to the reunion and be supported, probably quiet at the reunion. But his businesses are something to handle.
He has a job and he needs to go work. So yeah, that's just is what it is. What else happened on this episode?
Drew sat down with her mom.
Drew sat down with her mom.
She talked about her marriage. And it was really sad to see her mom break down and just saying that she just never wanted that for her daughter or even for her grandkids to be going through that. And I felt that because I was a child of divorce. I witnessed my mom and my stepdad divorcing. And I know that the toll it took on my mom and the toll it took on even us. Because that dynamic in the home changes when you start to kind of see your parents even battle with depression then too, or trying to actually go through a divorce and trying to figure their life back out.
And trying to keep y'all out of it at the same time and suppress those feelings and stuff like that. That's definitely difficult. And I'm pretty sure it's even more difficult with Drew and Ralph due to them being on TV.
Yeah.
And then, like, the kids, and, kids talk. And she mentioned she got a son that just turned 14.
Yeah. And honestly, even back then, I feel like kids gossip. Even we were, like, the early social media kids. Yeah. And kids gossip back then. They knew your lives. Like, they knew different things. And so, just imagine now, like, even if someone's not watching, like, TikTok is huge for kids that age. Like, someone's seen a TikTok. All they gotta look up is that was.
I don't know if you can change the algorithm for kids. Like, you can do, like, YouTube Kids.
I don't think on TikTok.
No, yeah.
That's why a lot of parents don't like TikTok.
Yeah, no. I don't know a lot of parents don't like YouTube either. But it was really sad because, like, Drew said that she really didn't catch that, like, her kids were being, like, really affected by this because the mom said the kids aren't listening. Mm-hmm. Said she feel like when she has them, all she doing is yelling. I'm like, sit down, stop doing this, stop doing that. You know how parents are. Mm-hmm. But that's where she is right now because the kids aren't listening, and it's taking effect on the kids now. Mm-hmm. The divorce, which sucks. So, as we mentioned, too much didn't happen in this episode. It was clearly a filler episode, just, thrown in there, whatever. But what did happen is Portia and Shamia sat down. Their food looked good. I was like, what restaurant was that? I'm going to have to watch it back. Because, they put the name of the restaurant at the bottom. I'm like, I'm going to have to run that back. Yeah. I love that. I would go. Especially if we're in Atlanta. We watch that. I'm like, ooh, what's that? Let me
add it to the list, honey. Yes.
But they sat down and, per usual, as I mentioned last episode, Portia cries at the drop of a dime.
Yes, she does. Please.
And they love to call Drew an actress.
And then picking up the forks up and...
Girl!
And walking out the bathroom.
They love to call Drew an actress, but the real actress is Portia.
Exactly. Can we get this to go? Do you want to get this to go? I'm just so sad we couldn't finish this conversation.
And then she acting kind of like... I feel like she was kind of acting clueless to the reason why Shamia came in, and she was kind of like... A little like I'm cool on you in a little bit, but I'm here to talk about, what we need to talk about. Like, I think she was just expecting, I think in the relationship, they may get into it and Shamia just kind of like blow things under the rug.
I think so too. And I also think that Shamia probably never really voices how she feels. Because they even said it like back a couple episodes ago that Shamia was saying that she wanted to say something about the music part, but she didn't want to make it a thing because like, she knows that Portia's going through a lot, but I don't really like that Portia's using that against her. Yeah. Because you can't keep hurting my feelings or doing something that, like, actually bothers me, but expect for me to basically not ever speak up about it. And I thought she was really mature in the way that she was communicating that.
Yeah, she communicated very effectively.
Portia, no one's doing anything to you right now. I'm just telling you how I feel. You don't want to hear how I feel. You don't care.
Yeah, she was like, I understand you're going through a lot, however, I want to be able to come to you and address how I feel without, you feeling the way as well.
I agree.
Yeah, Portia was just being rude, and I love that she was like, do I bore you?
Yeah, exactly, because it did look like, I wouldn't even say fully on board, it felt like she immediately felt like a victim. Like she
huffing and puffing, and I'm like, girl.
I think Girlie literally felt like a victim. And it makes me sad, because I love Portia, and I do feel like Portia is being genuine in her responses. Now, do I think that, like, we also got to remember that Portia's a damn airhead. Yeah. No, Portia. Yeah. I'm a big firm believer. You got to take people for who they are, and I think we learned this really in the hard way in relationships, and friendships, and work life, everything. Not everyone can provide you what you might need. My therapist used to tell me that you can't keep going to this one person expecting a different outcome. There are other people that are going to pour into you in the ways that you need to be poured into. So go to them for that. And then from that other person, you might get something a little bit more simple or something more fun and airy. And take that from that person and enjoy it. Yeah. And Cynthia said it.
Yes. This clearly has been the dynamic of your friendship this entire time.
Yeah, and now you're noticing it. But like Cynthia said, like you can't, like you're a giver. You're a naturally giver. And people are going to always take from a giver. But do not expect for someone else to give to you in the same ways that you give to them and give for that reason alone. Like you can't expect that. Like I can't expect for you to get emotional with me at certain TV shows the way I do. Like it's like, I know you and I know what you give to me as a friend, and I love what you give to me as a friend. I am emotional when watching TV shows, by the way.
I'll be crying over anything.
Y'all, Ariel is not the friend who is going to. She's going to come with solutions. Yeah. Ariel is someone I can definitely vent to, but she's going to be like, okay, so what do we do from here? Yeah. She's not going to be someone who will listen and be like, yeah, girl, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be more like, okay, so what are you doing next? Like, how do you want to go about this? Move forward. Yeah, and I know
I remember what's name said that on the show with, I forgot who she was. Who was Candy? I don't know who it was, but she was like, I'm the solution friend.
Yes. And not everyone wants a solution in certain moments, and that's okay. So go to your friend that's not going to give you what you don't want to hear.
I can sit there and listen, but I'm not going to be like crying and all those things with you. I'm going to sit here and listen. We're going to figure out like what we're going to do next.
Exactly. And I'm also, too, I'm the friend, too, and I'm going to tell you, not necessarily when you're wrong per se, but also, too, I want you to open up your lens. Yeah, exactly. Like, open up your lens and realize, again, you're not necessarily a victim in this situation. Other things are going on around you. I understand your perception. I understand how you feel. However, now think of it from their outlook or how they're actually going about this. Yes, they can be wrong for what they did, but also, too, you gotta take some accountability. Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think Shamia needs to just realize that that's just who she is. And that's just what it's gonna be. It's either y'all gonna move forward or y'all not.
Exactly. I think too, I gotta be honest with y'all, I understand kind of why Portia, if this is true, didn't want her on the show per se. I think that a lot of these shows, they put a huge lens right on not who someone is like directly, but I just think that it can ruin friendships, it can ruin relationships, because you start to see the blind spots that you never knew were there in people, and then you start to dislike people. I feel like even like the crowd or the audience will start to see things around you in someone, because I feel like that's kind of what happened this season. Like, people started telling Shamia over and over again, like, you're her lapdog. Yeah. This is happening. That is happening. And so I think she started to notice, like, okay, this is how I probably be in trouble.
She's like, damn, am I really her lapdog? Do she really not defend me?
Right? And I think she probably always just internally felt these ways in certain moments and never said nothing about it.
It's also a little different with Shamia being a full-time cast member versus her just popping up and doing a little scene, coming to a birthday party, coming to dinner.
Exactly.
And so it's like, now it's more on the, it's, you really in it now.
Exactly.
Like, so
it was no longer like her being like a shadow and being like a friend of. It's like, okay, now you are a part of this cast.
Yeah, Shamia just got to figure out what she want to do with her friendship.
I think so too. And I also think Portia does too. Yeah. Transparently, I think that Portia also has to decide if she thinks that Shamia is a friend that is worth, I wouldn't say fighting for, but I would say that a friend that is worth continuing on, or actually stepping up in a way that someone might need you to step up, but Portia did make a post talking about the fact that Shamia mentioned their mothers. Oh. And, like, their mothers and things like that. And
Portia made a post?
Yeah, Portia made a post a little while back basically saying that Shamia brought up her mom, and basically Shamia's mom did her mom dirty, and we all know, and, like, they all know.
There's no tea between the mamas.
But she said basically that Shamia talked about it on the show, but all that was aired to us was basically Shamia just saying that, like, everybody was at odds, to say the least.
Yeah, I want to know the tea between the mamas. Hopefully we can get some tea at the reunion.
I mean, I'm sure that moms are probably just as much alike, like, as they are. Because I know I'm just like my mom. Like, as I've gotten older, I noticed a lot of traits in me that I'm like, I am my mother's child.
I notice I have some things I am like my mom, but there's certain things that I'm not. I feel like I'm like her when it comes to the small stuff, like how much I do fucking laundry is insane.
You do laundry like every day?
Almost. Like every other day. Like the debate on TikTok about, like, do you use a different towel every day?
Do you?
I use a different towel every time I wash my booty. If I shower 3 times a day, it's a different towel every time.
I have friends.
And it's not about, this is off subject, but it's not about, people like, do you have that many towels? I have enough, but it's not about how many towels I have. It's about the laundry load. So, yeah, it's not impossible.
No, I get what you're saying, because I feel like my
towels more than anything.
My version of, like, my own OCD kicks in different ways too. Like, other certain things that I do that, like, I start to, like, get anxiety about. Like, I get anxiety, but mine is like shoes in my house. Like, my mom is like that. Like, it gives me anxiety when people just think it's okay to walk around my house with shoes on, because I'm like, I wouldn't do that. Or even, like, when people don't use coasters here, and it's not, it's like only on certain things, like on, like, my coffee table or my tables when it's like real wood, because real wood can actually get damaged by the water, and so it's like in those type of settings. Like other things, like on my glass, I don't care. Whatever. Like on my glass, I don't care. On my, like, counters, I don't care at all. It's just more like my table, or like my, because I have, if you see coasters like sitting there, use them. It's like literally just little stuff.
I'm the one that come around and be like,
yeah, me too. Like, here you go. Here you go. Or even too, this is probably really petty, but, like, don't automatically go in my living room and think it's okay to eat without asking me, can you eat in my living room? And it's because, my couch is light, so especially if you're eating things with sausage or, like, different stuff like that, like, I would appreciate if you ask me first. Table, and I have an island, like,
Yeah.
Ask me
and
first.
the way your house is set up, if you want to watch TV, you can still see TV from the table.
Exactly. That's another thing. Like, if you see me doing it and you know I don't care, then whatever. But, like, if it's, like, a moment where you brought food over and you just gonna naturally go to it.
Yeah. But, like, even when we have brunch here, everybody sit at the kitchen.
Exactly. Like, just ask me. I don't care. Well, sometimes I care, though. Like, especially, whatever. But totally off topic. But, yeah. So, yeah, I get it. I don't know. It's a lot going on.
It's a bittersweet situation because, like, they've been friends for so long, but it just is what it is at this point. Hopefully by the reunion we can figure something out. They probably should be filming a reunion soon.
They should be. It's probably going to be, like, in the next episode or so, because we're already on episode 10, or 11.
11.
So, probably by 12, because I'm sure it's probably going to be, like, 18 episodes.
Yeah.
It's giving it's going to at least be 18. Like, I don't think it's going to be any less. I do want to, like, now make our way into the after show, because I do want to really talk about what Angela said. I think that was one of, like, the biggest pieces from this after show. There wasn't necessarily much. Drew did give us a little bit more details into her children's life right now and how old they are, and kind of, like, there was a few flashback scenes to kids. Yeah, exactly. A little bit more about the divorce, which I don't know, it's more of a sad thing to me. I will say that, like, sometimes it is a little bit of a snooze fest when I listen to Ralph's speech. Just because it's like, Ralph, if you don't gone somewhere, but also, too, it is really sad. And maybe it's just a little triggering for me, too, just because I've experienced that. I was like a Josiah when that all happened. Yeah. But Angela, I'm that girl, she is golden TV. Mm-hmm. I will give her that.
Angela is what we needed.
Yes, and her hot takes are a little different. I don't think that she's
Angela is definitely getting her contract renewed.
No, 100%. She's the show at this point, and she's gonna get some good money. I mean, I'm sure she did get good money to even come onto it anyway, given who her husband is.
Yeah.
But her hot take was different. I never thought about it like that, where she thinks that Shania basically is doing this for clout. She's doing this for the time. Like, she doesn't really feel that way. What do you think?
I think that I don't know. I really don't know. I hate to view it that way. But now it's like, damn, is she? Because Shania don't give me that she gonna let somebody run over her.
But I don't think. And again, I want to emphasize, I don't think that Portia runs her over. And I feel like that's how they're viewing it right now. And I also think that people get, like, an idea of someone and they run with it the same way how they call Drew a liar and they just run with it. Yeah. Like, Drew has probably told some lies, but they're running with that being her, who she is. And I feel like the same thing just happened with Shania, because I think that Shania is just being a good friend.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything about doing being a lap dog. I think she's just being a good friend. And I think that, like, it caught her off guard to see that now that she's on the show and that people are coming for certain parts of their friendships, or for her when she's not there, she's just surprised that Portia is not doing the same in those moments. Because I think she's just being a friend, to be honest. Because I do think Shania is very strong in personality. But I do think, though, that, like, she's just loyal to Portia. She loves Portia. That's her best friend. Like, we all be in love with our best friends. Like, if I didn't love you, why would I be? I like my friends more than I like you. Like,
no, be like,
y'all are funnier. Like, it's fun.
But I don't know. It's just now I'm gonna pay attention more in, like, a little more detail of what Angela said. It's just like an eye opener to, like,
But I'm also wondering, too, I just think that Angela is mad at...
She just don't fool with Shania.
Yeah, I just don't think that she messes with Shania no more, honestly. And that's okay, because I will tell y'all this. Angela is my favorite of the show so far.
I think Angela's, she's a fan favorite. She's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, and I think that they're starting to show her a little more because they know the fans like her, because Britt has kind of went into the background for me. Yeah. Kelly has, too, to be honest. Kelly took her daughter driving. I guess she did. But all Kelly talks about is basically the money she's about to spend. And that can get a little annoying, too, because...
And then the restaurant... Is the restaurant open in today?
No, the Sandy Springs location, I just went on Nana's website. They're literally only open in McDonough.
Who's driving that?
Y'all, for reference, McDonough is all the way south of Atlanta. It's not in Atlanta. It is...
I don't even know where it's near.
It's in Henry County. It's like, you have to continue going down 75 or 85 south. You have to just keep going down. Keep going down. It's like probably 50 minutes from me.
But I'm trying to figure out, like, which direction. Like, what other city is it near?
It's like past, like, Fairburn, East Point, all that. It's like, you just keep going.
Also, it's that way. So
just keep going.
It'd
like,
be closer to...
So, you know, like, if you're on 85 South, you know how, like, when the airport is, like, exit, like, 240? Mm-hmm. It's like exit, like, 190, 180. Like, it's just down there.
Okay. Yeah, not going.
I know I'd be a little dramatic. It might be like 220. It might be like a 220. But still, though, it's just all the way down there, to say the least. Yeah, it's just like far. It's far. And I get it. I will tell you this. A lot of people live in McDonough, though. Don't get me wrong. McDonough is the burbs, too. There is a whole golf community out there. Like, McDonough is beautiful.
I wonder why she went that way. You know, it's probably...
That might be where she is. You know, half of them don't actually live in Atlanta. They said this verbatim that Shamia is the only housewife that actually lives in Buckhead.
I know.
And that she has the money. Exactly. Because a lot of folks live either south or north. Portia lives in Gwinnett.
I think it's also due to the fact that, like, maybe, like, the housing in Atlanta versus, you know.
Well, that's my point, though, is that they said that Shamia is the only one with deep money. Well, Charles Oakley and Angela probably got deep money, too, but they probably just chose the burbs just to choose the burbs.
Yeah, but don't want to deal with the traffic. Honestly, no, exactly. Choose Atlanta.
I probably would do. Honestly, I think that if I can afford it like that, I mean, I live in Atlanta. I know you don't.
Used to. I live in Atlanta. I don't like it.
Yeah, like, my house is right in the city, and I think that, like, Shamia, she's like, her man can afford it, and they probably like, some people really like just being in the city, so they're right in Buckhead. Like, their mansion is right in the city. It's probably one of the nicest neighborhoods out here. It's beautiful. Like, Atlanta is beautiful. Like, living in the city is beautiful, but you have to be willing to be in the traffic, because a lot of people are going to probably always be driving past their houses or their neighborhoods.
Yeah, I mean, to do with the traffic, the homelessness, the crackheads, the water boys, all of those things. Because, listen, in Gwinnett, we don't have those.
Yeah, it's a little different out there.
And we have great food in Gwinnett.
But there's good food out here, too.
It ain't like...
But I will tell you, it's not really gated out here, either. Like, if you go towards Gwinnett, or even if you go towards Henry County, which is where McDonough is, like, it is more gated community. So
even if you go, like, a little farther, even if you go, like, Sandy Springs and stuff.
Yeah, Sandy Springs is nice, too. It's beautiful. Really nice. But they just chose Buckhead, so yeah. But I don't know, maybe Kelly lives out, but Kelly is only, and it's not bothering me, per se. Sometimes I feel like, it's like, where does all your money come from? Like, it sometimes feels like a boost, where it's like, telling her daughter, like, the way that, like, buying her daughter a 20 plus person, telling her daughter about, she's gonna buy her this big car, and this and that. Like, it does sometimes feel like it's for TV. Like, she does some of the things she does just for the likeness of TV, where to, like, be entertainment.
Yeah, I don't know where Kelly's storyline is going.
That's my point. Like, I don't know anymore.
Or Britt, honestly. Damn, I miss Kenya.
I know. That whole thing died out. I'm like, is this going to be brought up at the reunion? Are we going to...
I'm pretty sure it'll be brought up at the reunion.
But Kenya was invited, so I'm just kind of confusion.
Well, it'll probably be like, where are you now? Type of thing with Britt, like, how do you feel now, like, watching it back on TV, stuff like that.
So, I have a theory. I think that they're trying to make it die out because they seen that the audience was kind of, like, hating Britt. Mm-hmm. So, I think they made Britt fall into the background purposely right now so that the hatred dies down and that it won't necessarily be a topic.
If it continues to be in the background, we won't see her next season.
I don't know. I hope they recast her. I do. And I can't tell you why I think that. I just feel like right now, their desperate casting is desperate right now. So, I could see them.
And it's probably highest reviews have been in a while.
In a while, yeah.
So.
And I can see them recasting everyone transparently. And so I think that they're trying to make that feeling of hatred towards her die down right now.
Well, you know, I'm actually okay with this group being recasted again from another season to see where it goes from here. But, no, I have my brain fart. Yikes. I was going to say Portia, but I meant to say Phaedra. Freaking Frack.
Freaking Frack is back.
Freaking Frack is back. Portia. Damn, what the hell? Phaedra is finally back next week. We've been trying to wait to see, like, because I do remember they say she comes in at the tail end.
Yeah.
So this is the tail end. Next week is season.
They're gonna drag out a few episodes with it, for sure. At least 5 episodes.
So, I
just want to know what she's gonna do because I love Phaedra, but I've watched Phaedra on a few different shows at this point. Mm-hmm. I watched Phaedra. I feel like the only show that, like, she fully, like, I wouldn't even say gave up, was Traitors. Like, that show was very fitting for her. Like, she was, like, I don't think she won, but I think she was a traitor. But Phaedra is actually very chill. Like, I've noticed that she don't really be beefing with nobody unless y'all beef with her. Like,
I think she had a different point in her life.
Yeah, like, but no, I feel like she was always like that. To be honest, like, if you go back and really watch
her show, it was
she was always super chill. It was Apollo, or like she would get caught up in her lies. Like, it kind of happened on Married to Medicine.
And then the drama with her and Kenya, but that's also was due to Apollo.
Yeah, because Kenya, that's weird. Why are you? I get it. And let me tell you what I get is Kenya. It was a 40-plus-year-old woman who was still single with no children, and I think that sometimes, even for myself, sometimes being 30, sometimes I think, one, there's already a stigma over me if I'm around married couples, and I'm always around married couples because a lot of my friends are married, and I can tell you sometimes I wouldn't say get uncomfortable per se, but it is sometimes a little harder to be the single person in a group. And then with that also being said, I feel like that became Kenya, who Kenya was, but One thing I don't get is Kenya. I would never flirt with my friend's man.
That's weird.
Like, it's weird. And I get that they might not have been friends right away, but no matter how attractive my friends' men are, I find it to be very odd if I look at your partner and immediately, like, draw this attraction or this weirdness to you and start flirting. And it's very obvious that Apollo wasn't.
Friendship is over.
Exactly, but that's the point though. Like that's what Phaedra said. But I'm just saying though, it was very character telling of Kenya. But I also, like I said, I get the being the single part and being around men, and it can be like weird. But again, your friend, like it's weird. Anybody's man, it's all
friends. But it's just also that's a married man.
Exactly, it's all just weird. Like it's just weird to me because there are so many other men out here. Well, a lot of people are getting divorced by the time they are that age anyway, sis. Like, go find you. What she should have did, she had enough money, she was fine. She was looking for a man who could take care of her. What she should have did was the Drea. Go get you a 22-year-old and have a baby with that 22-year-old, Kenya. Yeah. Instead of going through the divorce that you've been going through for 6 years.
Are they still not divorced?
No. That's ridiculous. Or they just officially were.
That's ridiculous that they're not. That's actually really, really bad. Yikes.
That narcissistic man. That was her karma. And you know, she clearly had a type. She liked light-skinned men. Yeah. It was very obvious. The one that she paid. Yeah. Her husband, Apollo. Like, it was very obvious what her type directly was. But it just was odd. Like, I know that Apollo probably was a flirt and he's attractive, but I still would have been disgusted or grossed out by the fact that you flirted with me, knowing that you are my friend's man.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Kenya go sit down with Nene.
Do you think she'll go to her show? Nene has a new show, y'all.
Yeah.
Have you watched it yet? We have to watch it.
I've seen clips. I just don't like shows where they drag the episodes really, really long.
It's not like 30 minutes?
No.
What is it? Like an hour and a half?
Over an hour.
What do we need to talk about for that long? Honestly, after a while, it's like, girl.
I saw a good amount of the episode with Cynthia. I've seen clips of Tamar. I do want to go watch Tamar. I love Tamar. Yeah. So, and then she sat down with. What's the lady name from season 1 of Housewives of Atlanta?
Oh, I know you're talking about. That was one of the first clips I seen. I don't remember her name though.
She did sit down with her, so we're probably
because she talked about her divorce. She talked about how she's happy she didn't go through her divorce on the
show. And then Nene said that's something that they would have enjoyed to see on the show.
Yeah, but she was saying that she's happy it wasn't because she knows that she was not who she is today, and it would have been very embarrassing. Yeah, to say the least. Like it would have been very. She would have hated to have to know that's out there. Yeah, it was kind of like what you call divorce on Real Housewives of Atlanta. What is her name? She was one of the original housewives. It was kind of about her. Her husband was a basketball coach.
Yeah. I can't remember her name.
It'll come back to me. But her divorce was kind of not sad to watch, but it was like when she joined the show, it was already you could see that her marriage was ending. And,
the one who keep coming back.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't know.
I can't remember
she's
her
a friend
name.
of.
Yeah, she's a friend of.
But yeah, she in the.
I won't say she's the original. She's technically gone down.
Yeah, because she really was one, like, but Karen probably was at one point, but I want to emphasize, like, again, little off topic of Atlanta, but still Housewives. Karen was probably grown up at one point, but Karen is old compared to all of them, and I don't mean that in a mean way. Karen is in her 60s, and I feel like some people, like Karen, don't like to hand their throne over, or, like, they don't like to hand their throne or their crown over to the new up-and-comers, and I feel like that also was one of Karen's, she was, like, she hated the fact that she was getting older, and things were changing, like, her husband was 80 years old, like, but Karen was the grand dame 30 years ago. Yeah. And I truly do believe that. Mm-hmm. But I also, it's like, is it Chrissy? What is her name? I also do believe though that she needs to let go of that and let it continue to go.
I don't know where that show is going now.
I know.
Whew. Free Karen.
Free Karen. Like.
Dang. Well. What was your tagline of the week from this episode?
There wasn't a... Nothing happened. I was like, to be honest, I was zoned out. Like, I gotta come back in, sis. Gotta come back in. Yeah. I don't either. All I can say is, like, the funniest part was just Drew being locked out. Like, it wasn't funny. But it's like, it's not
like, what the heck?
Like, you gonna lock me out?
Yeah, he's lying. Loser. Or I guess, like, loser.
I guess, am I boring you?
Yeah. No, facts. Am I boring you?
Yeah, I don't have a tagline this week, obviously, but that means we're gonna have to just bring you guys 2 for next week.
Yeah, next week should be better. I will give y'all a forewarning that next week's episode will be a tad bit late.
Yes, we are going on vacation, y'all.
Ooh, and it's a holiday.
It's a holiday. It's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So we'll be a couple days late, but that's okay though.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you all come watch with us. Make sure you follow us at Taglines and Tea on Instagram, on YouTube. Go watch us, and then also subscribe to us on YouTube, as well as subscribe to us on Apple Music and Spotify.
Yep. So yeah, and if you have any questions or comments, let us know. And next we want to make sure we read some comments from y'all. So
100%.
Yeah.
I also want to point out too, friends, we are not going to only be talking about Atlanta. We're starting off with Atlanta right now. I know it's a little off season for most shows. We have been watching Love Hotel. We might start talking about that soon if it gets a little juicy for y'all. So like we said before, we have Giselle and Ashley from Potomac on there, and then we have Shannon from Orange County and Luann from the Old New York. So I love Luann. It's like they're all in there for different reasons. Like someone said, Luann just is so happy to just have all these men around her. Ashley is loving herself an old man. Like Giselle just wants a man with money. Giselle's just having fun. And Shannon is still emotional. My girl Shannon. But those are also my favorite. Not all. I just totally lied to y'all. Shannon and Luann are some of my favorite housewives. I'm starting to realize I do like Giselle a lot more than what I think I thought.
I always like Giselle.
I wasn't a huge fan of her when it came to like the way she kind of cast out Monique, to be honest. I didn't really like it because I felt like she was just jealous.
Everybody loved Monique and I did not.
I didn't love Monique. I just didn't, cause I didn't like Monique that much in the entirety. It was that situation specifically. I felt like she was targeted. I felt like they egged her on. And then she reacted and was treated like she was just this crazy. Yeah, I didn't really like that. But I wasn't always a Monique fan. I just feel like they were picking on her from day one, to be honest. But we also, too, we have a few different other shows that are coming out. Everything comes out really in June. So we wanted to make sure we got a fresh start. And talking to you all, talking to each other.
Atlanta is wrapping up soon. So we have a few more episodes of Atlanta. But we're going to start tying the other episodes as well. So we'll be discussing them all.
You know what I'm really excited about, though?
What?
Love Island.
Love Island
comes in June as well. It's a summer show. So Love Island airs every single day. It is a summer show. They only are off on Sundays and I think Wednesdays. So I'm excited to talk about that. And then the cast from last year also too is doing a show where they're basically taking us through their lives today. So I'm excited to actually watch and talk about all of them because all of our fave couples are still together.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. We love to see it. Kenny and Janae, Serena and Cordell.
I've just been all over TikTok today.
And I love them. They're so cute. I feel like it's kind of died out, like the energy from all of it, like the hype of it all has died out. But I love to see how well they're doing. And also Cordell making a name for himself outside of Cordell. Like, that was fun.
I'm looking for it.
Me too.
Young love.
I'm excited.
Yeah. What?
But yes, make sure you go subscribe to us, like us, add in your questions that you have for us. We are so happy to answer them. And stay tuned. We have so much more to come. Bye, friends.